Greetings, my fellow gamers. 'Tis I, Wraith King, and welcome back to the Dark Kingdom. Today we're talking about Trials in Destiny, one of my most disliked game modes ever. Like, period. I've played some horrible games with terrible game modes, but this is worse. Now, before you go raging in the comments section going, Wraith King doesn't know what he's talking about, Trials is great, it's the greatest game mode ever. Well, no, it really isn't. For those of you who do not know what Trials is, the full name of this game mode is called Trials of Osiris. This is an extremely competitive game mode that encourages high skill leveled players to compete in a very challenging PvP match. You will be going against 3 players and you will have 2 people on your team to help you out to even out the game. If the enemy team wipes out your team 5 times, they will win the match. Doesn't sound all that hard, right? And besides, if one of your teammates dies and you are by them when they die, you can actually revive them and bring them back into the game. Sounds like a pretty fun game mode, right? Well, that's where you're wrong. If you lose 3 times, you will not be able to play this game mode again until next week. Now, if you want to win this competition, you need to win 7 times. And this is an achievement called Flawless. Once you get Flawless, you are taken to this, almost like an arena. That's pretty much like a trophy room, if you will, but we like to call it the Lighthouse. Of course, you are rewarded once you get to this area. You are given a whole bunch of loot out of this chest, and it's a place you can explore and look around in, but the important part of this area is that you are rewarded. But what about this is so irritating to people? Well, first of all, you aren't just given cosmetics. You're not just given a couple of emblems or anything like that in this game for bragging rights, which is fine. That's why competitive players play this in the first place, is for the bragging rights and being, just at the top of the leaderboard, so on and so forth. And some of these players actually stream. They are paid to play in Trials. They are paid to be good at this game. So when you go into Trials, you're going to run into some very powerful and very focused players who will win by any means necessary because, well, their job is on the line. Well, you're probably thinking that this just sounds like a very competitive game mode, and you're right, but the problem is they reward weapons that are only available through playing this game mode, and you guessed it, winning in this game mode. If you do not win, you will not, I repeat, you will not get any of the items that are available. Now, before you go storming off in the comments and saying, well, you do have to complete the bounties, you do have to complete those, and you can do those without even winning, and you'll get some tokens of which you can turn into a vendor that will eventually give you an item. Eventually. But the thing is, you have to complete bounties to even get said tokens. Bounties that dominantly involve killing players in Trials. And let's not forget one crucial detail of Trials. You cannot participate in Trials with randoms. You need to have a ready-made team. If you do not have a ready-made team, then you cannot participate in Trials, which means either LFG or hope and pray that one of your friends is playing Destiny right now. And maybe they'll play with you. If you don't have any of the following, well, you can't play Trials anyway. So if you're a new player wanting to get into Trials, you're probably not even going to win the first match, even if you do find a team. Well, I mean, you could pay somebody to do it. And I'm not exaggerating. You can pay someone to play Trials for you. There's ads all over YouTube. At this point, I'm pretty sure you've seen them. There are plenty of players who are paid to play this sport. Yes, I said sport, professional sport, if anything. They will win by any means necessary, and trust me, I've played against these people. They play like their lives depend on it, because they kinda do. They're playing for their jobs. They're playing to put food on the table. You think I'm joking, but I'm not. These players dedicate their time and money into this game, so of course they're going to win. Of course they're going to be very good against you. And I have no problem with these people at all. In fact, I actually think it's pretty cool that somebody's actually being paid to play a game. I think that's pretty awesome. But what irritates the community and myself definitely included in that, is that Bungie has shoved weapons into this reward pool that people don't just use in this silly PvP game mode. They actually use this in PvE as well. They're really good weapons. And for them to have a skill lock on them doesn't just make them hard to get, like let's say the Taraba. It makes them 3 times, maybe even 10 times as hard to get than the Taraba. Because for the Taraba, all you need to do is learn the rules of a certain game mode, and then voila, you get the weapon. Probably. The same is said for the other raid exotics. You keep playing, you're going to get them eventually. All you gotta do is learn some rules. But in Trials, skill matters. You can know the rules and still lose horribly. It's not about knowing what to do in Trials. It's about being good. If you're not good at an FPS game, well, too bad. You're not getting a weapon that would otherwise be good elsewhere. And ever since they introduced sunsetting, that means some of the weapons that you've been grinding for this whole time, let's say you've been grinding forges for a Galliard 42XN, it's going away next season. You'll still be able to use it in PvP, but for your PvE content that you love so much, it's not really going to matter anymore. Because Bungie doesn't think we're going to try to go for newer weapons or try other weapons, even though, Bungie, I got a secret for you.
We do that all the time. That's why we play Destiny 2, is because there's so many unique weapons to play with. There's so many different options, but I guess you want to sunset old weapons anyway, just so you can try to get our attention on the new weapons, even though you already have it.
Why do you think so many people are grinding in the new dungeon trying to get the new weapons? Is it because the old weapons are being sunsetted? Yes, but that's also because they're new. Of course, we're still going to use the old ones every once in a while, but it doesn't mean we're not going to go to the new ones. Bungie, you're already removing planets from the game. Just try to let us keep the weapons at least. But that's a video for another time. The fact that they're putting so much work behind these weapons is just top of the line ludicrous. It's like EA trying to shove loot boxes in our face even though we don't want them and they know that. It's like Activision trying to shove loot boxes in our face even though they know we don't like it. Perhaps you should try listening to your players and give them some love for once and actually just make these weapons obtainable. Here's an idea. If you lose 3 times in Trials, you still get a reward. How about that? You still get a legendary weapon or armor piece. An excellent example of what I'm trying to say is it's like winning in 3rd place in the Olympics and getting that bronze medal. You're not in 1st place, but you still worked hard to get where you are, so you get rewarded anyway. I mean, what do you think the bronze medal was created for in the Olympics? These people worked really hard to get to the top, and then for them to make 3rd place? It sucks, but hey, here's a medal for your really, really hard work. We appreciate you coming out here. But Bungie doesn't believe in encouraging the people who lost to do better by rewarding them for their hard work and telling them, hey, you can get better. But Bungie doesn't want to do this. They'd rather reward only the players who are at the top instead of thinking about the people at the bottom. I understand you want to make this a competitive game mode. I get it. I'm a competitive MOBA player. I would be one of those players at esports playing League of Legends. So if anybody should understand competitive gameplay, it's me. But what you're essentially doing here is putting a skill lock on a new hero. And that would be stupid if League of Legends did that, but that's what you're doing here. You're putting a skill lock on something that we would otherwise have no problem with getting in the regular game. Playing PvP normally can get me normal PvP weapons in the Crucible. Why can't it do that here? Why can't I play through the game mode and then get a legendary item that's dropped from the reward pool? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, do you understand the difficulty behind actually even putting a team together just to play this game mode? You have to do a lot to even play it. This isn't something you can just play, Bungie. It's not something I can come to every single day and have a chance to get a legendary weapon. No, if I lose 3 times, I have to wait an entire week just to play a game. And they're not just putting a skill lock on it, that means they're also putting a time gate on this. And to make it even worse, the weapon has random rolled perks on it. so you might not even get the type of the weapon you really like. And the same thing is said for the armor. It's all completely random. This game mode does not need to be so stingy with rewards because it's already hard enough just to play it. Even if you somehow do get to 7 wins, you still get random rolled weapons. You don't know if it's going to be the type of weapon you want. And if you do get 7 wins, guess what? You still have to wait a week to play again. So if you didn't get the rolls you want, you have to play it again and get 7 wins again next week. This would be fine if it was just armor and a lot of different cosmetics to make it look, hey, I made it to this part of the game. Hey, I made it to the top. I'm a really good player. If it was just something like that, cosmetics, I would be fine. But no, you're locking weapons behind a game mode with random rolls. Again, so you're not just making this hard for me as a normal player, you're making it hard for even the people at the top. And from my understanding, after reading comments on Reddit, reading comments in Discord, all of that kind of stuff, from my understanding, the Bungie developers who would be watching my video and watching my criticism are going,
La 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 la, not listening, no, my game mode, my way or the highway. If you suck, you can't get any rewards, la la la, ha ha.
But I have faith that you're not like that. I've seen the Bungie devs, I know what they're like, they're good people. They actually listen to their community. They're not like that. So you know what? I'm going to be on your side, devs. You're listening to my video. You're listening to my criticism. You will take it, and you will think about it. I know you will. So please, think about the people who are in 3rd and 2nd place. These people worked hard to get to where they are. Till next time, my fellow gamers, take it easy for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more gaming news and gameplay videos, leave a like, comment, and subscribe so you too can be a part of the Dark Kingdom. Take it easy for me, and please do have a blessed day. Bye.